Philosophy. What is that good for? What are you going to do with that? Basically, you realize that you have two values in life. Respect other people's choices and try to live towards happiness. Deciding what things will make me happy in the course of my entire life. Staying away from vice and much, much more. But also as a purpose just to help the least well-off people in society. I think people talk about students, but they don't really talk about students. They throw them in the bunch for sympathy and to draw out feelings, these helpless students, or they could just work more. I had 20 jobs when I was your age, but college was only $500, and a house, like if you work for the city picking up garbage, you could send your kids to school. Not the case in the world today. We have students coming out of debt, harsh debts for an education system, which I feel like basically makes us add 2 more years of high school with the general education classes that we have, and then we graduate with a bachelor's degree and find out we need 2 more years of college to really get the job that we want. Needing a master's, maybe even a PhD, it's sort of robbery, while deans at the school get $500,000 to $1 million, live on campus, have cars, privileges, etc., when our teachers do not make that much and they're the ones doing the work. I don't know how that's justified. I think if you pay somebody enough money, they're less likely to disobey. I don't know. So, like I said, Bernie Sanders said $17 billion for higher education, and the United States is a very wealthy country. I think we shudder at the idea of $17 billion, but keep in mind this year the Walton family, who makes me laugh when they talk about working hard. Those kids of Walmart just happened to be born in a family that their dad succeeded and made a company. I don't know how you justify getting $55 billion to try to keep your money managing Walmart, keep it from being stolen, but they have. So that could have sent $17 billion, I'm going to do quick maths, about 3 years of free college for students in the United States. It's a lofty dream, but not really. I don't think I'll ever earn that much money in my entire life, but I don't need to. I'd like it, I guess, but I'm looking out right now at the best backdrop in the world, and I'm doing something that I feel like would be really fun and enjoyable and lead me to happiness. Happiness is something that is a long-term thing, and it's the indirect result of being present in the moment, doing the right thing, being conscious. Looking at where I spend money, I like talking about it. I don't think many people like talking about like how we spend our money. We work for it, we think it's okay, but there is a certain disconnect because we don't talk about money or sex very much in this country, and we're bad at it. Just bad at talking about money. We have cars, $6,000 alligator shoes when there are people, children, who don't have food, in Oakland, not Africa. It's just sort of silly sometimes, and we don't have enough, and there are people who will say the new tax plan will help families, but it doesn't. It does not help the least well off. There's no choice in any of that. Supreme violation. So I do think that I wanted to return choice to people in the music that they grew up listening to, have more variety, have help the least well-off people, the students who can't devote their entire lives and energy and focus into writing songs that will get lost in the wash of vines and prank videos on the internet and selectively marketed, heavily branded Super Bowl artists. And I respect all types of music, though. I don't think trap music anymore, trap music isn't anything new. James Brown, I can't understand a single thing he says, but you know what? Like, get down to it. And, I think if you write death metal music, that's cool too. Don't make your music that hurts the least well-off people. I made this website, obviously, like as a college should, to respect all creeds, nationalities, blah, blah, blah. You can talk about how you're pissed off at God, like but don't we all? But don't say how you're pissed off at somebody else's God, It's like, as a philosophy major, like, you learn a lot of good reasons for how there's no God in the world, but I always say, like, try to help somebody out, try to do something for the benefit of others, and see if you succeed in that, because that path has usually always been open to me. And I think if you meet one honest person who tries to do one thing for somebody else, like, that might be more than millions of people get to meet in their life, honestly. So consider yourself a person that can be a profound change by one small act. You can be a pebble dropped into a lake. You don't know where the ripples go. Pursue happiness through virtuous acts. Evaluate sometimes how we spend our time, our money, what content we observe. Are we really watching this? Are we engaging with this? Is this going to be the same verse, chorus, bridge, outro, song that I've heard 1,000 times? And is that how I want to spend my life? I think if everyone takes a pause, helps out just a little bit. I know that when you give, you might not receive materially, but for the day you've done something good for someone else, and no one can take that away. Once you've done that, it's there. You can get money. The government can take that away. Criminals can take that away. You can get fame, but that can be taken away just by someone else being famous, And as a student, as an artist, I think, as Aristotle talked about in his Nicomachean Ethics, which if you don't know, you should read it. It's very interesting. You want to be honored for the right things in life. You want to be famous for the right things in life. Don't you? To be a happy human being away from vice. Yeah, I think so. And I'd like to be honored for the right things in life. And that's my deal here, man. It's real simple. Help the least well off. Who I feel I relate to is these public California college students just trying to get a job in one of the most expensive states in the country with a very competitive job market, but also incredibly beautiful. So hope you dig it. You can check out some more speeches on this on WordPress and YouTube. Later.